welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
And I'm Shawn.
And we are here today after a very exciting day of comic book buying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again?
We had a mighty sale adventure.
We did. We went on a little trip.
Over at Nuclear Comics in
Laguna
Hills, California, which is right up the
down
the way
down south and in the OC.
Yeah.
They were having a real great sale.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I followed them on Instagram, and I've seen them, and I'm like, I want to go there, and because we don't spend a lot of time, that much time down that far.
No,
down there. I mean, it's kind of a trip, but we were just like, all right, we'll. But I saw, I've been keeping an eye on it, and I saw that they were having a sale, 3 for $1.
Right,
and they're like, we've got like 20. They had like a lot of boxes.
Oh, they had so many boxes. They had tables full of boxes outside the store.
Just stretch, because it's like a strip mall. It's just stretched across the way. And and then we go there, and they had a ton of stuff, and it was a lot of fun. We always have fun when we pick up stuff. And,
we got some gems.
I got some gems. I filled some holes in my collection.
Yeah, I found one myself, actually. I found a Catwoman I didn't have. That was exciting.
Which is pretty shocking.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you have just about every Catwoman, but there's a big chunk in the middle that I guess you don't have.
Yeah, that's the thing. I always have to look at your app, because I don't actually know. Like, I never remember exactly which ones I have and which ones I don't. Like, I should actually sit down and put it on a note thing in my phone so I know what I'm looking for, because a lot of time I'm like, do I have this one? And then I'll buy like 4 issues of the same thing. So
yeah, no, I know. So that's we avoid that. And,
that's why we stand there like idiots and like scroll through phones.
No, there's other people that do that too.
I know there's tons of other people.
There's people that do that too. I mean, there's something though. I get when I do comic book shopping. Sometimes I just get like, frustrated standing out there, and then like I know I shouldn't, because everybody's entitled to look through comics and everything like that. But sometimes I just get like, I feel like I'm getting like closed in on.
Oh yeah,
by people.
Well, yeah. I don't like being super close to people, because I'm an introvert and I like my personal space. But that doesn't mean that other people shouldn't shop. I know I'm just weird.
Yeah,
that's
I'm the same way.
It's me.
I'm the same way.
It's not other people. It's me.
But they, it's one of those things though. At least in this one, this is good on Nuclear Comics, is they had all of them on an elevated table.
Yes.
They didn't stick them down below, which some places do.
Some places do.
And I understand why you do that.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, you're trying to maximize space. But for me, I am not a teenager. Mm-hmm. And especially at like when there's a sale and there's a lot of people, I am not going to be bending over to like go on the floor and get trampled. Like at a con, like forget it. If it's on the floor, it's gone.
Yeah, fuck it. I don't care. I don't care what's in it.
And I don't care what's in it. If you want to bring it up so I can stand here and look at it, that's great. But I'm not going to get stepped on by like the million people mulling about this.
Yeah, especially at a con.
Especially at a con. No, you're going to get run over. Crazy.
Yeah, no, it's...
I'm too old for that shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to be trampled to death. Because there's a story. Woman trampled to death while trying to look through cheap comics.
It's just you like laying on the ground like with a chalk outline in your Catwoman costume. You
have like crappy Catwoman costume.
And just like people,
just basically ears.
And just like Comic-Con people just walking around like just some idiot dressed. Well, I shouldn't say idiot, but
Well, no, it would be like comic. It would be the comic version of Altamont. When all those people died at that Rolling Stones concert.
Altamont. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was thinking Ultima, the RPG game on computers.
No, because they would
Lord British is there?
They would do like a documentary about it on like future VH1 or whatever channel. That'll be like future whatever channel runs those behind the music.
But they would do it about you?
Well, no, it would be about how comic conventions and how they were great, and then how everything turned bad after I got trampled. And that was the beginning of the end. And then they just started getting violent. People started getting stabbed or whatever.
Stabbed. Oh. Well, somebody got stabbed the one year. Didn't somebody get stabbed like because of in the eye because somebody was trying to get like a Harry Potter pen or something like that?
Maybe. I have no idea.
Yeah, that was because there was that was I think it was the same year that woman.
Oh, that
poor woman got killed.
I remember that
running across the street. In a car.
I don't know where the car could have come from.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, actually.
I don't know where she was. But you know what? At the same time, it was at night. Because I think, wasn't she camping out or something?
Yeah, probably.
Because she was trying to get into Hall H.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happens.
So guys, be careful when you shop for comics. That's what we're trying to say.
Don't get trampled.
Yeah, but we found some great stuff, and some stuff we'll do in a future show. I was able to buy some Warlock and the Infinity Watch.
Yeah.
So I was very excited about that. I bought actually a lot of post-issue 200, including... No, wait, I didn't get that one. But post-issue 200, Justice League of America, which I always like those. Yeah. Because... that's kind of I don't know. For some reason, I prefer those.
I get that.
So I figured I got a bunch of those. Some stuff. So I actually bought some Alpha Flights.
Yeah, you did.
They didn't have nearly as many Alpha Flights as I would have expected.
That's true. I actually didn't see that many in the boxes.
But I did buy some.
Out of all the boxes,
I bought the ones that I wanted.
Good.
And so and the store itself is cool because
they've got some neat statues in there.
They got some really cool collectibles. I was I've never been in there, and it's also a skate shop, so they got some cool skate stuff.
Which
in there
is
too.
actually I've never seen a comic book skate shop before. I've seen a couple different combinations, but that would be the first time I've ever seen that one.
Yeah, no, and it's a dope place, and they had some really cool statues, and just the guy that was there, he's just he
was a cool dude,
rock and roll surfer man.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
It's badass, so. I was like, man, I like this. I just like going other places in California and just kind of finding that place out.
I like checking out other comic book stores. It's fun.
So yeah, we had some fun with that.
I would say most of the time we've been really lucky. Most of the time the stores we go to are cool. I think there's only been like one or two that are not cool.
I could tell you a few that were not cool.
Yeah, but it's not common.
It's not common. But there are some, because most of the time they're okay. Most of the time it's not, and most of the time it's not. If a store is not cool, it's not, or if it's not so much cool, but it's just not good. Yeah. It's, if it's not good, it's just because it doesn't really have maybe what we are looking for as shoppers.
Sure.
But
it doesn't mean it's not good.
But there's a difference. I think there's a difference here that there are some stores that are just not cool.
Yes.
As in the people that run it are just dicks. Off or dicks, or they. They're just something, or it's just not really clean. Yeah. It's just, I mean, that I can maybe kind of forgive, but at the same time,
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. But, like I said, those are so far and few between that it hasn't really been an issue. Most of the time, I would say 85% of the time, we go to really cool stores.
There was this guy, I remember when I was a kid, I used to go to this place called Flight into Fantasy in Buffalo. It was in Kaisertown, nearby. That was the place where when I was 14 or 15 or 13, whatever, 13 or 14, it was I was not supposed to ride my bike there,
right? Which
is ridiculous because I don't know. It was because I was my brothers were coming with me, so I was a certain age. I was old enough, but Brian and Mark
you were in charge.
Yeah, I would have been. So Brian and Mark wanted to go, and Brian and Mark don't give a fuck. Never did. They're just like, fuck it, we're gonna go, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And
I think that comes with the benefits of being the younger siblings.
And so this guy that used to work at this Flight in Fantasy, there's a few different people that worked there, and the owner was cool. Yeah, the owner we kind of can be friends with, and he knew us when we came in, but he had this guy who didn't work there very long, but we called him. He kind of makes me remind me of the comic book guy from the Simpsons. He had glasses. I think we used to call him ponytail guy or beer gut guy because he had both. And he just seemed, he wasn't rude, but he seemed very distant. Yeah. In a way, and he didn't seem very willing to help. Yeah. And I was just in there Hellstorm. Nine comics in 1994.
Yeah. That's all right.
So yeah, I have memories of that.
Yeah. But I did want to mention.
Oh yeah.
We saw the Lego Batman movie.
I was just gonna say we're gonna talk about Lego Batman for a second here.
We're not gonna do any spoilers because just in case you haven't seen it. But I would highly recommend going to see it. It is full of joy.
It is. Yes.
It is a fantastic escape from the upside down that we currently live in.
It's also a nice contrast from everything else that DC does.
Yes, it's also so.
With the exception of maybe Supergirl.
Yeah, but not even just TV. But I mean, like just the stuff you see in movies.
Yeah.
It's a nice change. It's fun. It's
Lego, so it's going to be just completely goofy, but it's one of those
funny.
But it's also one of those things where so it's written the guys that wrote the movie,
yeah,
or produced it, and the guys that did the Lego movie and everything, are the same guys that did 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street, like those guys, like Christopher Lord and somebody.
What's his name? Sean Greensmith or Sean.
Well, Seth Grahame-Smith.
Seth Grahame-Smith.
He's a part of that too. I think he wrote it.
He did, yeah.
He helped write it. But there's another. I forget the other's name. It's something Miller.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on his name. But nonetheless, I think those Jump Street movies are funny.
I thought 22 Jump Street was okay, but I thought 21 Jump Street.
The first one was good. Yeah,
really
first one was
funny.
really good. Second
surprisingly,
one was
because I was not looking forward to it. And I thought I was just like, whatever. It's at the cheap theater.
Yeah, we're just gonna go see it.
We're just gonna go see it because we're just it's hot as hell. We don't have air conditioning.
Yeah,
so we're gonna go see this movie for $1.25, and it was really funny.
Yeah, it's really good. And he so they wrote this movie. They did this movie, and it's freaking hilarious. And there's but the thing is, there's some adult jokes in there.
There's definitely some
because
adult
it's PG,
jokes.
so you can get away with a little bit of that, and they find the way to do that,
Sure.
and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun. And I saw, a headline on the Mary Sue where it was just like, their review is that at its core, it kind of understands who Batman really is.
Yeah.
And I would agree with that.
Yeah, no, totally.
Absolutely 100%. And so it's fun. It's a good time. I would recommend going to see it.
Yeah.
There's jokes for... there's jokes for people who are really into comics.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just regular, jokes for other. They're very, very clear about how no one is dying. They're like not lethal. It's just very funny. It's a good time.
Yeah, it's very. It's for kids. It's for
everybody.
Parents. It's literally for everybody.
Yeah. And I don't really think there were that many kids when we went to saw it, but we saw it.
We saw it purposely at 9 o'clock in the 9 o'clock at night last night
because we were like, no,
because I'm not dealing. Because probably all the kids went today.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they did.
All the kids were there today, and hopefully it'll make them millions of dollars.
I hope so. It'll be
which
fun.
I'm sure it will. And it'll probably be just a bunch of people like us going to see it. And,
that was the theater last night. It was just a bunch of people like us, but it was good. So definitely go see that if you get a chance. If you've got kids, take them. They'll have a good time. You'll have a good time. Even if you don't have kids, go by yourself. It's a good time. I enjoyed it.
Have a good time.
Yeah.
So let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll take a promo break, and we'll come back, and we'll get into our book for this week.
The Lonely Hearts Romance Comics Podcast, in which four guys talk about romance comics and about romances in comics, with Siskoid.
We're all French Canadians here.
Marty.
In horror comics, there's often like this little, romance tinge, I guess.
Okay.
Bass.
We just turned on him.
And yours truly, Fern.
I'm very aroused.
Featuring the overproduced wonder that is romance comics theater every episode.
Dan, I knew it couldn't last from the first day you eyeballed me when I reported to work. It wouldn't matter if I washed in laundry soap and came to work in a burlap sack. I'd turn you on. And you have the same effect on me.
I do? The Lonely Hearts Romance Comics Podcast, available at lonelyheartspodcast.wordpress.com and on iTunes.
We've had a comic book romance.
All right, we're back here on Worst Collection Ever, and we are here with our book for this week. It is a book in honor of Valentine's Day.
Yay!
Valentine's Day. It is Valentine's Day is technically today.
It is today.
So
right now.
Even though we're not recording this on Valentine's Day, when you're listening to this, it is Valentine's Day.
Yes, and so we're trying to honor Valentine's Day by bringing you a romance comic.
Romance comic that Jen bought.
I love these fucking things.
Yeah, and we don't find them very often,
No.
but it's nice that we came across one of these.
Not only that, that, but this. I'm just looking at this. This cover has nothing to do with the stories on the inside.
Yeah, it does.
Which one?
This one right here. This is like the last story.
No, that this chick in the last story is blonde.
I know, but the cover does. I mean, the
I get it. Oh, this guy.
The content.
Did you see this guy? He's got like Conan O'Brien hair.
Yeah,
He's
no, it's
wearing white skinny jeans. This is amazing.
It's Simon Le Bon.
Wow. Yeah, it is. It's wearing a
from Duran Duran.
Really open V-neck. Anyway, this is Girls' Romances number 157 from June 1971.
Yeah.
Man, oh man. So on the cover, we have a guy standing on a dock.
Well, actually, real quick. So I just want to make just points on that real quick because I have a computer on my lap here. But so it's girls apostrophe.
Yeah.
Romances number 157 from June 1971, and I feel like, and maybe I just didn't see this in here. They don't tell you who the artists are.
Do they even tell you who the writers are?
No, you can't find credentials.
Probably because nobody wants to admit that they wrote
this book,
which is such a shame.
This book was written and drawn by no one.
Yeah.
However, I did
by 1,000 Monkeys.
So I did do a few research, and one of the stories was penciled by George Tuska.
Okay.
And then also there's there's like other stories in here. Then nobody is copying to this.
Which you know what? They're not bad stories.
They're not terrible.
They're just obviously it was looked at and probably still is as a chick genre, so it's not going to be taken as seriously.
Well, there's no to say who wrote any of these.
Right.
I only know who is a penciler and inker for at least two of these.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's because they didn't want to admit it because they were just like, God forbid somebody doesn't think I'm writing about Batman, crying because his parents are gone. I have to make sure that people take me seriously when I write my next Spider-Man.
Yeah.
About when he switches bodies with Doc Ock. So I better not tell anybody that I wrote a comic about two people who fall in love. Because that's not relatable. It's not taken as seriously because it's considered chick shit. But you know what? Fuck that. Anyway, it's not like earth-shattering. I'm not like, oh my God, it's so good. Like, it's ridiculous. There's 4 stories in here.
Okay, so 4 stories. And first one, now, actually, I think, so the content on that this cover is explaining. So basically, it says at the very top, it says, "Do good girls lose out?"
There's a column in here that just we'll talk about it. So, do good girls lose out? There's a girl crying somewhere.
She's crying in the foreground, and she's hiding behind a building.
And she's wearing a lot of accessories.
She's on a
got
wharf.
like 9 bracelets. She's got 3 rings.
I think that's Stevie Nicks.
I think it is Stevie Nicks.
I think it's Cher from the 60s.
It is. You're right. This is Cher. And she's crying not about Sonny Bono. That's definitely not him.
No.
Like I said, white skinny jeans. He's wearing a striped shirt. It's very V-neck. He's got blonde Conan hair.
Yeah. Not Conan the Barbarian. Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, Conan O'Brien.
Don't get them mixed up.
And he's like, "Carrie, where are you?" And she's like, "He's not gonna marry me once he finds out."
She's I can't let him see me. If he finds out what happened to me, he won't want to marry me. And this chap here in the yellow striped shirt.
I don't think he's marrying any ladies.
Oh, what, you think he's into dudes?
I think a lot of this, there's a couple stories in this book that could literally be like, when they're like, why doesn't he love me? Could it be explained by because he likes boys?
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's what it was supposed to be, and they were just like, psych! I like girls!
They're like, but it's 1971, we can't talk about it, but...
No, it wasn't. Yeah, we could give it a couple of years, you might be able to slide that in.
Yeah.
But he's like, this guy's like, "Carrie, where are you?" And he's got like, sunglasses on. Mm-hmm. Gee, I wonder why. Okay, so we'll but these people have nothing to do with actual people have nothing to do with the rest of the book.
No, the people on the cover have nothing to do with what's going on.
Yeah.
So
but there's also there's a box at the bottom and it tells you the stories that are in it.
Not all of them.
Not all of them, but there's I love the 2-timer.
That's not correct.
Yeah, it's true.
That doesn't have anything.
that's right.
That has nothing to do.
It has nothing. That's incorrect.
That's incorrect.
Love is forever. Okay.
Sure.
And how does a girl meet her dream man? Well,
I mean, I guess.
Question mark. Anyways, so first, so for the first story is The Girl Next Door.
Yep.
And basically the premise is that
It's a friend zone comic.
It is friend zone as fuck.
That's all it is. This is about a girl.
And it just goes on for fucking ever.
And it really does. And she just really loves the guy, her best friend, but God forbid she say anything.
See, this is funny though, because so on the page here, we have this collage, and basically it's the guy's name is Wade. Mm-hmm. I want to think it's I'm gonna say this is Wade Wilson.
Sure.
Former quarterback of the Los Angeles Raiders and also Deadpool, and then also Elsa. So it's the princess. It's the princess from Frozen.
Yeah.
So we're so the princess from Frozen and Deadpool, quarterback Deadpool are together here. But the thing is basically we get this montage, this collage, and basically we have a paragraph saying I'm assuming Wade is like, no, we're not steady, but she's like a sister and I love her.
Yeah, but who picks up their sister and like carries her to the car for fun or like chases her around when she's
because we have like these pictures of like he's chasing them, she's in the bikini.
And she looks great in this bikini, by the way.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, she looks awesome. Like shit, if I look at that, I'd wear a bikini all the time.
Surprised, and it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird that you just overall like why he just didn't try with her.
He just wasn't into her, I guess. I don't know.
Because he just really liked. I mean, this is like like a movie kind of script,
and they're
where it's like I love you. You're
my best friend. You're the girl that I'm not seeing how hot you are.
I'm just gonna keep doing that, and I'm gonna find something. But here's my favorite part is that you have all these, you have these pictures of them, and then you have like this picture at the very bottom where she's like Elsa is like staring at us.
Yeah,
she looks very much like Rachel Bloom from My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Yes, she absolutely does, 100%.
I kind of was thinking like I kind of want to send this picture to Rachel Bloom and be like, it's like, is this about you?
Yes,
because she's kind of staring, and in the background, I think that's Trent. I think that's the crazy because he kind of has a dark shirt on.
Yeah, if he was wearing a turtleneck, this is 100% be Trent.
But they're looking
can we just point this out real quick? I love the fashion that they've gone to put in these characters in, because
1971,
yeah. So Wade is wearing this like green and white striped shirt. He's wearing green pants and flip flops.
Oh, flippy floppies!
Yeah, rocking the flip flop.
Well, you gotta keep your feet open.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we kind of get like this origin story of them,
like how he comes to her for advice, and she always gives him the best advice, and even his mom only thinks that like he listens to her because he'll be like,
Mom looks as old as Elsa.
Yeah, she does. He's like, hey, I'm dumb. Can you help me with a math problem? And she's like, sure.
Okay, I understand. Well, did he just like know her as a kid? Or
I'm assuming that they must, because they must be in high school, right? Because here he's talking about going to college.
Right.
So I'm guessing that like he went off to college, and because it's 1971, her job is to just sit around until she finds a husband.
Oh, to not go to school.
Right.
No more learning for her.
Yeah, because what else she gonna do?
Well, she's got to wait for Wade to go to the NFL and go play for the Raiders.
Yeah,
and then he's gonna get drafted by Weapon X.
Yeah, and she's just gonna sit there and wait because she had like a roast to cook or something. So
lots of cooking.
So.
Well, I do like here that she just randomly. I mean, I'm trying to figure out with these situations where she's kind of like Kramering over, or they're Kramering each other.
Okay, so he comes over to her. He asks for help. Then he has her come over because
she's giving him good fuck me eyes too.
Oh yeah, she is. She totally wants to bang him. And then he has her come over. Because his mom is trying to talk him into wearing a shirt with his with his green suit.
Wait, does he? But I don't get the impression that he invited her. I get the impression that she just showed up like
maybe
Kramer, and they're like,
Yeah,
oh,
maybe
I just happened to, and he's just standing in. I assume his.
Did she slide in? Is this her sliding?
Yeah, that's her being Kramer, and they're just standing in his kitchen. He's standing in the kitchen shirtless, as you do. He's probably
Is this is this the puffy shirt Seinfeld?
I think it's how my
origin?
parents met.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
I think it's
Did your mom Kramer on into your dad's house?
Yeah, because my dad never wears a shirt, so my dad's
That's
just
true. Your dad.
That's why I'm thinking here.
That's 100% true.
I think somebody found out how my parents met.
Your
and then wrote this
father
into a comic.
Just I don't understand why he just hated shirts so much. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, for all the shirts he didn't wear, he probably could have clothed many third world countries.
Yeah. Well, my dad's pants are always falling off.
We've always joked that if you put my dad and your dad together, we would have had one fully clothed dad.
Absolutely, 100%.
But he's just this guy's just an idiot because he's just like, I don't know how to wear shirts. She's like, but you wear a shirt and then you're handsome.
Well, no, he's like, well, I want to wear the green shirt with my green pants because that all, I don't know, look like Jay Leno, but like green. So she's like,
I'll go look like a handsome leprechaun.
So she's like, no, wear the blue. He's like, good call. And the mom's like, he never listens to me. And then she like
sounds like my mom
storms off. It's all moms.
Sounds like my mom when she would get mad when I would listen to anybody else.
Yeah. No, that's all moms.
Don't listen to me, fuck.
And so
she was so angry. I once took. So I never liked button down shirts.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna say clothes in general, and I was like, you probably got that from your dad.
But when I was in 8th grade, it was did you? No, I don't know if Colorado had this phase, but in Cheektowaga, New York, we had what was known as the silk shirt phase.
Oh God, yes.
Of the mid 90s.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
So you understand what I'm talking about.
I had lady silk shirts.
Oh yeah, no, I mean the lady silk
but
shirts.
there were dudes in my school wearing.
Oh no, so that was the hotness, and of course, since you know my friends.
Oh yes.
You could just imagine that they
you guys had a lot of silk shirts.
Well, they were like, I didn't want to get any silk shirts, but I got kind of cajoled. I got coerced into getting a silk shirt. There's a place called Stitches in the Galleria Mall that specializes in the silk shirts, and I remember going and buying a silk shirt, and my mom getting very upset with me because I bought a silk shirt because it wasn't I didn't get any shirts based that she would like, but if someone so told me to get a silk shirt, and she was upset about that.
Are you sure she wasn't upset because she knows you and figured that you would probably stain it within the first 15 minutes?
That could have been part of it, but she was also.
She was like, I gotta try to unstain that after Shawn spills food.
And I'll be honest. I cannot tell you. I think I maybe wore that silk shirt maybe like 3 or 4 times.
Hey, that's better than I would have guessed. I would have guessed once, or bought it and hung it in the back of the closet.
I mean, it definitely did not stick around in my wardrobe.
Yeah, well, that's probably a good call. It's a good call for all of us.
Yeah, I know.
When we got,
I remember
that was America breathed a collective sigh after the end of.
I remember during like it was homecoming, and we had like so when it was like homecoming week, did you guys have like themed days?
Probably, but I was goth, so.
Well, you did, yeah. You probably. I mean, I'm just saying, like, you had a big school, so like,
I didn't participate in anything because
big school too, so you could you can actively avoid.
Oh, and I 100% did, yes.
And I'm sure you did a great job.
The only thing I had to do was go to assemblies, and I bitched about it the entire time.
Right, but I'm saying, like, but for us, it was like there's fucking posters everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And it's like. It's Tuesday's backwards shirt day because of crisscross, and I'm
sure we had those days.
Yeah, we had.
I remember them more in like in like 6th grade and 7th grade and stuff when they were like, "Hey, it's everybody wear your jams day."
Yeah,
but not as much in high school.
No, high school.
I was probably
we
actively avoiding that.
No, high school we definitely did that, and I remember one of the days was Silk Shirt Day because 1994. You gotta fucking bring that shit out.
Sure.
Anyways, so
So he wears a silk shirt.
he wears a silk shirt.
But then he's like, hey,
Mom
where
gets
should
mad.
I go to school? And she's like, no, go to state because it has a much better course for what you want. What does he want? I don't know. Nobody ever says.
I think I want to
And
go.
then she's like, oh, Wade. I
I want to go to custodial studies.
Good for you, Wade. And he's like, and as he's doing that, she's like, he listens to me, but he won't listen to the fluttering of my heart. And so she's just whatever. So
She could do so much better than this idiot, anyways. But anyway,
yeah, than either of these idiots. But we'll talk about that in a minute. So she is. I don't exactly understand this picture, so you could tell me if you get this too. So she's outside in a bathing suit because that's all this girl does is hang out and look smoking hot in bathing suits, by the way.
yeah.
She's hanging out in a bathing suit. She's reading a book. In the background, there's a book.
She's not reading it.
Well, she just put it down.
Oh,
So Wade's coming home with a buddy, but we're going to talk about that in a second.
oh, buddy.
In the background, there is a tree with no leaves on it.
Yes. Well, she could be. They probably live in California.
Yeah, but we have leaves on our trees.
Yeah, but in the fall they come off.
That's true, but usually not all of them, right?
Well, maybe she lives in like Charming.
I don't. Maybe.
Maybe she lives in the the Sam Crow country.
Maybe she's a sex toy or like a sex doll.
Oh shit! Is that Tig's other daughter?
She's a sex android, and she doesn't feel the cold. She's just programmed to give Wade advice and to love him. That's all she's programmed to do because apparently she's not going to college.
I also want to imagine that in this book, in this universe, that Stephen King's slop sink guy also exists.
I think it's her neighbor.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. So she's gonna go Kramer
Does
into
that
his
slop sink work?
She's gonna go Kramer
She's like,
into
"Where's the
his
silk
house.
shirt?" He's like, "What silk shirt? Get in my sink."
So Wade comes home from school.
Oh yeah.
And he's got a buddy.
Oh, he's got a buddy.
And his name is Troy. And him and Troy love to wear V-necks.
Deep V's.
Deep V's. They have got button-down shirts, and those
Fucking
button-downs
Mr. Peanut
are
Butter.
open. And she,
Yeah, that's some deep V's on both of these guys.
On both of them. And so she is not happy. She's got the little icicles coming out.
Yeah, because it's funny because he's coming out of the woods.
Out of where the dead trees are.
Out of the dead trees. He's coming from the lost woods.
Him and his V-neck. They're okay. So him and
He's got that hanging out with Swamp Thing.
okay. So him and Troy coming out of dead trees, both of them with their shirts undone to their navels.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, hey,
You know what's funny though is that
my friend."
Well, it's funny because he's coming out and he's like, "Yeah, I've got a friend and we're back and we're here." And she's like, "How nice!" And like,
but like pissed off about it.
so like the speech bubble has like icicles on it.
Yeah, she's like very cold.
To indicate biting sarcasm.
Yes, or how cold she's being to him. And then she felt shame because she's jealous of this guy. And he's like, "Well, it's only natural Wade would want to have a boyfriend." And it's like, yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe you should think about that a little bit more.
Maybe you should have told him to go to state.
Yeah. So as this goes on, Wade and Troy like go out all the time in a convertible, and she gets all upset.
Well, she frets because basically one night
it's cold because obviously it's fall, but she doesn't notice in her bathing suit.
Yeah, she doesn't get the crippling flu.
Yeah,
that Wade gets because
the flumonia that he
flumonia.
he gets flumonia because he apparently is gonna die. So everybody's just sitting around his bedside, just like at his house. They're not even in a hospital. They're just like him and
he's already in hospice. I mean,
he's in hospice 100% because it's his.
Because he went out and had a rip roaring time with Troy in the woods,
and now he has flumonia.
Now he has flumonia.
But like, it's just everybody's at his bedside, and they just like have a vigil for him, just staring at him. And I'm like, take him to the hospital.
And he's like, and so she starts confiding in Troy. And Troy's like, "You're in love with him, aren't you?" And he's like, "How dare you?"
His fever breaks,
Yeah.
so he's gonna live.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Oh, thank God. So her and Troy's like, "Hey, Elsa, let's get out." No, that's why she couldn't feel the cold, because she's Elsa from Frozen.
Clearly.
Oh, that's why. That's why the tree was dead. So I put it together.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yeah, the
I've
cold
never seen Frozen, so I don't know if that's
cold
how it
didn't
goes.
bother her anyway. So she like she's like, Troy's like, hey, let's get out of here. Let's let him sleep because we're all staring at him while he had a fever, and that's not creepy. And so they all, her and Troy go outside, and he's like, you love him. And she's like, yes. He's like, well, how about you say something to him about your feelings? What a very smart idea. And she goes, no, I can't force him to notice me. He has to notice me on his own. Pro tip, honey, he ain't going to notice you unless you say something.
He also noticed that those guys more than he knows you.
Yeah, absolutely. He loves the deep V.
Yeah, I mean, clearly he wasn't flipping out. Wasn't his hormones weren't flipping out when he was chasing you in a bikini.
Right? And you were smoking hot.
And you look great in it.
Yeah, and you're just not his thing, and that's cool. So later on, he's better.
Rebecca Bunch has got some problems.
Yeah, Rebecca Bunch has all the problems. So he's fixing the car, and he calls her over. And
so it's months later. He apparently got his. He went to state to learn how to fix cars.
Yeah, he whatever. So he's back.
working for Dominic Toretto.
Yeah.
in the Fast.
Yes.
And so this is way early. So he's like, so maybe he's Dominic Toretto's father. So maybe this is like,
maybe
prequel for Fast and the Furious.
Absolutely. His hair's gonna fall out by the end of this comic. He's gonna start wearing some wife beater tees and just.
I only love Corona now. I don't love you anymore.
He's like, I can't wait till I have a son.
That's probably why he likes the deep V's.
He's gonna look exactly.
Because that's all Vin Diesel wears sometimes. He's always deep V in it. Figure this out. Let's see if we find maybe when Fast 9 the movie premieres, I'll stand outside and I'll be like, I'm a girls' romance truther here. Like, sir.
Oh, how can there have been so many of those?
Are we on number 8?
We're on 8.
There's gonna probably be a 9.
There's probably gonna be like we're gonna die when we're like, if we don't die now, it's like if we make it through the next couple of years, we're going to die when we're like 94, and they're still going to be making those movies. They're just going to be like CGI and like everybody in there.
They're going to get Paul Walker. Because they already did it to Paul Walker. So
it was creepy.
So they could just be like, that basically told you, it's like, look, all bets are off.
All bets are off.
It doesn't matter if you died.
I hope you know that machines are now taking our acting jobs. They're just going to CGI people in because they don't have to pay them. So he's like, hey, by the way, I just wanted to let you know I have totally fallen in love. And she's like, oh my God, he's going to tell me that he loves me. Nope. He loves another girl.
Psych.
Just kidding. And he's like, you have to tell me how to get her.
But I'm so dumb.
And she's like,
and I know I love this girl.
Kidnap her? Like, what do you mean get her? Yeah. Like, what are you talking about?
I need to get her to groove me.
Yeah, well, get her to wear a deep V. Can you do that for me? Can you become her best friend and get her to wear this button-up shirt that smells like Troy?
Can you get her to go? Can you? How do I get her into the woods?
And he's like, here, this is there she is, and she's like, that's just Troy in a wig, and she's like, no, it's Felice, because that's the name of the woman.
Felice Navidad. That's her full name.
So this girl runs over to Troy and is like, Troy, he loves somebody else. What am I supposed to do? Oh my God, I'm supposed to meet this girl. I know. I have a plan. I have to go to some stupid party. How about we'll just like make him jealous, right?
Pretty much. Yeah.
So Troy's like, all right.
Troy's hair kind of changes here, doesn't it?
Troy's face changes, like his hair changes.
He gets freckles, I think.
He gets freckles and then they go away. Like,
is he Ron Howard?
Yes. Yes. So Troy's like, I got this idea. We're gonna go to this party where you're gonna meet Felice for the first time. And then he's like, okay, I have a plan. Don't be nervous. I'm going to take you in my arms and please act as if you're enjoying it, which I'm sure is what every man has always dreamt of saying to ladies. So he grabs her and he kisses her and she's like, oh, but I felt something. Probably his tongue.
No. Felt his energy rod.
And Wade rocking.
Is that your chapstick, Troy?
Look at all the deep V's these boys are wearing. So Wade comes over, both in a deep V.
I know, fucking button up your shirts, man.
They're like 4 buttons down. Like they're really going for this V.
Are you just that hot in whatever dystopian area you live in, where that has no leaves but it is warm?
This is from wherever else is from, where all the people are ice. They're ice people. So he's like, oh my God, I just saw you kiss Troy. I'm so glad that the two of you are together, because now I'm in love with this chick over here and you guys are in love. Isn't it great? And she's like,
love is grand.
No. And she runs out the door and Troy follows her. And Troy was like, I just wanted you to know that I love you. And she's like, but you never said anything. He's like, because you were hung up on that guy. And he's like, but I don't think you actually love him. You just love mothering him. Because that's the thing chicks want to hear. And she's like, maybe you were right.
Yeah. Surprisingly, she doesn't.
What?
Surprisingly, she doesn't. Her reaction isn't like, fuck off.
Yeah, which is like, I can't. What the fuck's wrong with you?
You made, first of all, you made me, you brought me to this party to force your tongue down my throat.
Right. In some crazy scheme to make Wade love me.
To make because you're trying to convince me that this will make him think he loves me by seeing us fuck around.
Right.
And then you're going to tell me that I just mother him and that's why I like him.
And that if I stopped mothering him, like, I could love you. And that's exactly what happens, and they do. And she looks weird in this last panel.
Yeah, she kind of gets all. Well, it's a good. Well, I mean, I don't know. Just her face looks. She's like,
and his teeth get weird.
Yeah, they get all like.
Her eyes.
They kind of turn into like anime characters for a second.
Yeah, they really do. Her eyes get very, very small, and his teeth get very like. It's just one tooth.
Well,
it's just one solid tooth.
They got some grills.
You know how people have webbed fingers? This dude has webbed teeth.
Webbed teeth.
But like, this whole book is dumb. This girl is upset because she got friend zoned. I am very familiar. I used to do this to myself a lot when I was younger.
Okay.
I would like a guy and be his friend, and like he would never give me the time of day.
Yeah.
And then I would get all upset about it. And then I realized that I was doing this to myself because I didn't have to keep hanging around with him.
Yeah.
So that's my advice to anybody who's like, I've been friend zoned. No, the friend zone doesn't exist. If you don't want to like feel shitty, don't hang around that person anymore. You don't have to be a dick. You just have to be like, oh, well, that's cool. I'm going to go hang out with other people so my heart can get better.
Figure out your own shit.
It's important to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So walk away.
Treat yourself.
Go find somebody who likes you back. The whole point of this was not so these two heterosexual couples could fall in love. I really think it was because these two needed beards because it was 1971.
Yeah, and these two dudes are going into the woods with their deep V's, and
and now they're gonna go live next door to each other,
finding themselves
because they have to live closeted because we live in a terrible society.
Yeah,
that shames them. But
when disco hits, it'll be all good.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
So then we have this whole little column, and it's called "Do Good Girls Lose Out?" I didn't read the whole thing, but basically it's like, don't be a slut or boys won't like you. I say fuck that. Fuck whoever you want.
Yeah.
And if boys don't like you, then don't sleep with them, but who cares?
Don't worry about those boys.
Don't worry about those boys. So.
Okay, so here's another story.
It's called Dream Man.
Dream Man.
And it's about this woman who is seeing her friend off on a cruise. So she goes to the dock, but then she also gets on the ship.
That's what I don't understand.
I don't get this.
First of all, 1971. Are people that excited to see you off on a cruise? To the point where if you're seeing off one of your friends.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, great, I'll take you on the boat and everything. I'm not even getting anywhere. I'm dropping you off in the parking lot.
Isn't that, like, I can see, like, maybe...
Hey, have a nice trip. Goodbye.
You might be able to walk with them to the point where you can't go any farther.
Yeah.
And you give them a hug and you say bye, and then they go past security, or I've never been on a huge ship. I don't know how this works. I'm assuming there is a security checkpoint. And then they go away, and you go bye, and then you go back to your car and you leave. But apparently, in 1971, saying goodbye to your friend meant just walking onto the ship with them and, like, dropping off the luggage in her room.
Like, checking out the room and being like, oh, this is dope. And this one
girl, I don't even know if they have names. Oh, Nina. Nina is like, oh, there's a very handsome man. Oh, look, he's so handsome. Man, Nina, you're gonna have such a great time with that handsome man.
Because she's assuming that
That dude's just gonna want to fuck her friend.
Nina's gonna want Nina because that guy's so hot that he obviously
is gonna want to have sex with her friend.
He's gonna have sex with. He's like he's just gonna because she's
they're
really,
gonna bone.
She's assuming that because she wants to bone this guy so bad.
Yeah. So she's gonna live vicariously or through her friend. She's like, have sex with that guy, take a lot of notes, come back. See, and then I can put it in. What would make this a really good erotic comic is if Nina and her buddy Lois were empaths. Oh, what? So Lois could or Nina could
because that's the plan.
Sit on the dock and writhe in pleasure while Lois bang this guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because they would.
Does it work if you're that far away? I don't know how this works.
No, that's how it works. It would be like Professor X trying to figure that out. Kind of. I think I'm assuming that's Professor X, and
I'm sure he can do
with really good psychics.
Yeah. Too bad they're in the wrong comic universe.
Clearly this would be. Clearly, if this was a Marvel universe, this would be like a cherry comic for crying out loud.
So anyway, she's like.
Well, I just want to say that's probably the exact. I think I just reiterated the exact plot of an Emmanuel.
I'm 100% certain you must.
Emmanuel TV series.
Oh, I remember Emmanuel.
Right. I remember there's been the movies, but this I think that was well, I'm sorry. I know for certain it was for a TV series. I'm just gonna be flat out.
It's fine. Be honest. It's cool. Yeah. It's no problem. I will not.
I was
shame
single.
You.
I was partying.
It's all right. I'm not gonna shame you. I watched those Emmanuel movies. I remember.
Yeah.
So anyway, she gets off.
This is what happens beforehand.
Yeah. So she gets off the ship and. There's all these streamers. It's not even a maiden voyage. I don't know why there's all the streamers.
They're just going to. I'm assuming
going on a cruise.
They're going to.
It's like a 3. They'll be back in 72 hours.
They're going to. They're going to up the coast. They're going to Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah, they're not going.
They're going to an Arby's.
They're taking this big ship to the float through Arby's.
Yeah, they're gonna go float through Arby's. They're gonna come back and they're gonna have a bunch of beef and cheddars.
Is that why there've been so many outbreaks of diarrhea on cruise ships? Is because you go to the float through Arby's.
They don't tell you about those.
No, they don't. But
you get surprised when you're out there. They're when you're on a ship, and that's what nobody. I think you have to sign an NDA when you go on any cruise, any boat.
That's true. They don't want anybody to know about the island of Arby's.
But nobody could talk about it. Nobody talks about the Arby's island that's out there. That every ship goes through.
Yeah.
And you have to eat because they don't have any other food. That's how you.
It's just a network of Arby's islands. That's literally, and it's just littering our ocean. Instead of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, it's just Arby's islands.
Arby's.
And you have to go there and you have to eat beef and cheddars.
I probably could be okay with that.
I liked their curly fries, if I remember correctly.
They also had the Java Mocha shakes or something.
Oh, I don't know. It's been so long since I've been to an Arby's.
Arby's better than Wendy's.
I like Wendy's Frosties.
I think Wendy's is horribly overrated.
It's really overpriced.
Overpriced. It's overrated.
I like the Frosties though.
I don't even really care that much about the Frosties.
I like Frosties. I don't like anything else.
I'm putting it down. I'm putting down Arby's right here.
I feel weird about square burgers.
Big slam on Arby's. Big slam on Wendy's. Might as well slam Arby's too, but I'll eat at Arby's over Wendy's.
Come at us, bro.
I don't want your money, Wendy's, if you want to sponsor the show.
I'll take her Frosties though.
You could give me a Frosty.
You can give me some Frosty coupons.
We could do a Frosty, and that's it.
I'm certain there are just Wendy's executives just listening to this right now.
Some guy.
I
want to just imagine. I want to imagine.
I hope somebody on this podcast mentions our fine establishment.
I would like for one of our listeners to draw
a floating Arby's.
No, I would like for one of our listeners to draw a picture of a Wendy, but with earbuds in her ear and looking and frowning.
What, she looks like Grumpy Cat, but she's just Wendy's?
Grumpy Cat just says worst collection ever. That's our new logo.
We'll so get sued.
It's a parody.
Would they take our comic book collection?
Yeah, no, that's what they would take.
That's all we got.
The settlement is that we have to give them our Terror Inc. comic.
Just the one?
Just the one.
Oh.
Because that was Dave Thomas's favorite comic.
Then do we get to threaten the judge that we'll see them in court?
Yes. I'll see you in court. Oh, we're here.
We're like, thank God I work there. So she's standing there and just thinking, and she's like, man, if I was on that cruise ship, I bet that hot guy would come up to me and be like, hey. I'd be like, hey. And he'd be like, you want to get a margarita? I'd be like, yeah. And it'd be great.
She's having a nice fantasy here.
Yeah, she really is. I'm telling you, she's thinking about him asking her about margaritas.
Oh, yeah.
And
is this your first cruise? It's
also
like,
dick.
He's like,
so then she's
like, is this your first cruise? And he's like, no, but it's not the size of the boat, but it's the motion of the ocean. Or he says something, and I don't know why that would be the next thing he would say.
If we ever go,
let's skip the buffet and get right to dessert.
So if we ever go on a cruise, are you just gonna say that like over and over again, just like it's not the size of the boat, but the motion of the ocean? Just gonna walk around just saying that?
I'm gonna have that on a shirt. And people are gonna be like, "Why's that guy wearing that shirt? Why'd they let him on here?"
And there's gonna be kids and you're gonna be like, "Avert your eyes."
Avert your eyes. He's. I'm just gonna stand at the bow of the boat and scream Arby's, and you're gonna have to hold me like on. Fucking Titanic.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. I hope somebody just.
I'm just gonna every hour I'm just gonna go into the captain's to the whatever the captain people and they'll be like, are we getting Arby's yet? And it's like, no.
How far to the floating Arby's?
Excuse me, how far to the floating Arby's?
They're like, we have food here. You're like, I know that's a lie. Where's my floating Arby's?
I know that's a lie. I know that the food doesn't really exist until we get to Arby's. Look, I read Girls' Romance 171.
From 1971.
From 1970.
I know how this works.
I know. Or 157 from 1971. I know that there's a floating Arby's out here. And I know, and look, I mean, if I have to die to prove this.
Are you, so is it one of those things like you'll eventually
I will channel the ghost of Robert Stack to prove this.
It's just you walking around in mist in a trench coat being like, everyone says Arby.
That's gonna be my new pilot for Unsolved Mysteries. It's just gonna be me walking out of the mist in a trench coat and be like, a floating Arby's out in the Atlantic Ocean. Does it exist? I think so. And I'll just walk back into the mist. That's my. Then
will you come back out of the mist holding a bag of Arby's? And I've been to the floating island.
I just came back from the floating Arby's. I'll have a little like I'll be me with my trench coat, and I'll have like a life preserver on.
Oh yeah, like with a ducky.
With a ducky.
Does it have a duck?
I'll have a duck. It'll be the Arby's logo instead of a duck.
Oh yeah.
It'll be the hat.
Or you'll just be wearing like the pigtails.
Yes.
Carrying like
Wendy's. No, Wendy's.
Oh,
Wendy's. No, that's it. We're talking about thing. Wendy's will come and kill me.
Oh, okay.
That's
she'll just be lurking.
I'll have to fight her.
She'll be lurking in the mist in the background, kind of like a Slender Man thing.
Yeah, but with really red hair.
It'd be like the chick from The Ring, but just Wendy's.
Oh man, is that what Rings is about? The new movie?
Yes, it is.
Is this about the floating Arby's conspiracy? Should I go see it?
It's about dying from food poisoning from Wendy's, but having really wicked hallucinations before you go.
Oh man, if you eat Wendy's 7 days, you die later. That is unfounded.
Of course it is.
Don't please anybody listening to us. Do not go to Wendy's and be like, I heard if I eat this Frosty, I'm going to die from 7 days from now because some idiots on a podcast told me so. Anyways.
That is fake news. Just FYI.
Yeah, those are alternative facts, guys.
Those are alternative facts.
Just let you know.
Anyway,
so back to these idiots.
Back to this idiot. She's like, oh man, I can't have sex with that guy. So she leaves and goes to find a cab because somehow she took a cab to go see her friend off.
Fuck that.
Like,
I'm not taking a cab to go see you off on a boat and then find my way back on a cab.
Yeah, like, aren't you supposed to drive your friend? Because, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Or take the train. Or I wouldn't even go. I'd just be like, goodbye.
I'd be like, oh, see you later, bye. But this cab just, like, appears and the door opens and it's that guy, but he's, like, a really long Elastic Man arm.
Oh, shit. Oh shit! It's Ralph Debney.
It's elongated.
Oh, this is elongated. This is when him and Sue met.
Oh, is this what this is?
This is it. This is canon.
Because his arm, like he's opening the door, but he has like 9 elbows. Like it's just. You're like, oh my god, what's wrong with your arm?
Why is she not screaming in terror?
She's
Why is your arm
like,
so
oh my
long?
god, your arm. We have to get you to the
Am I on
hospital.
drugs?
Or we have to just go let you lay in a bed and stare at you, because that's what we do in these books.
That's how you get better.
And he's like, come on, if you're going uptown, I'll share a cab. And she's like, oh, yay. And so she gets in the car.
This is not a dream, by the way.
No, this is not a dream.
This is real fucking
and she's
life.
like, oh, I thought I saw you on the boat. He's like, yeah, I was seeing off a friend. You know, I feel bad for myself, but I don't feel bad for me anymore. And she's like, oh, man, let's have sex in the back of this cab.
Squish.
And he's like, good call. And that's the end of the story.
Well, they don't fuck.
No, obviously they just meet.
They
but
go get some lunch.
it's more better.
They go to
It's better
Arby's.
when I tell it. They go to Arby's.
They go to Arby's, and then we see a seagull, and that's it.
She's like, actually, no, I'm not going to make that joke. I'm not going to do it. I was going to make a roast beef joke.
Oh, you were? Okay.
I was like, no.
Yeah, no, I think we should
don't
draw
do it. Don't do it.
We've said enough.
We've said enough. So that's the
Russell, please don't email us asking us what
I
that
don't
means.
want to talk about that joke. It's really gross. So that is now the end of the second story.
Yeah, and so we'll take a break, and we'll come back, and we'll read the rest of this dumb book for Valentine's
I love
Day.
this book.
Well, Cindy, this is the last box. Supermates has now officially moved into Fire and Water podcast headquarters.
Where do you want this Starman short box?
Put it over by the classic monster DVDs. Be careful, don't crush my superpowers Batmobile.
Calm down, Christopher. Hey, you put the Star Trek DVDs on top of my comic action Wonder Woman Invisible Plane!
Oh, jeez. Well, now we can tell everyone that Supermates can be found exclusively at fireandwaterpodcast.com.
Now, if they subscribe via iTunes, they shouldn't notice a change, right?
Right, or if they listen through the main Fire and Water Network feed, no change. They can just find the show's home, show notes, etc. here at fireandwaterpodcast.com.
Well, I'm going to go take a dip in the Aquaman-sized swimming pool Rob has, but I am not putting on that mirror costume. It smells fishy.
Oh, come on, it'll be fun. Hey, don't trip over that life-size Shag Standy.
That thing is disturbingly real.
Supermates, the husband and wife Geekcast, now a proud member of the Fire and Water Podcast Network. Find us on iTunes or at fireandwaterpodcast.com.
All right, back here in our worst collection ever. It's our Valentine's Day special.
Yep. And the third book in our third story in our girls' romance.
Third girls' romance.
Blah, blah, blah.
Or grills romance.
Grills.
It's two Foreman grills fucking.
We're just going to talk about Arby's again.
All this roast beef has made me hungry. Anyways, our third story in girls' romance, number 157 from June 1971.
And it is called Love is Forever.
Goddamn right it is.
The story of this woman whose name is Carol.
Carol? Is it Carol?
I don't remember what her name is.
Wait.
Carrie. It's Carrie.
Yeah.
She met a boy.
Todd.
Named Todd.
Hey, Todd, I'm Tucker.
But Todd's name is T-O-D. It is not T-O-D-D.
Todd.
This is T-O-D.
This is George Carlin.
Carlin is screaming right now.
George Carlin is yelling at this comic right now.
Yeah, from
Hi, Todd, I'm Tucker.
I was going to say heaven,
Tucker.
but I don't know.
You think he's in hell?
Did he believe in heaven or hell?
I think he's in the floating Arby's.
Yeah, that's where he is. It's in the floating Arby's.
And he's perfectly content.
He's absolutely thrilled to be in the floating Arby's.
He is entertaining the crowd at the floating Arby's.
Yeah, it's a good gig if you can get it.
In the afterworld. Oh God! What if I go to? What if the afterworld is nothing but a floating Arby's?
Yeah, it would make sense actually. I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Horsey sauce. I'm into it.
That's what happens on Earth ass.
That's what happens on Earth. Whatever happens on Earth ass stays on Earth ass. Anyways, love is forever.
Love is forever, and it's like these two people, Carrie and Todd. They met when they were kids. They stayed together when they were in high school. They're high school sweethearts.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, were they kissing?
Look at that sweater.
I don't know what is going on.
Whoa.
Whoa, wait. Kissing, but like
her face doesn't look correct.
Neither does his. It's like it's supposed to be them kissing, but their faces have just basically.
But his chin,
they've melded together.
But okay, this is what it looks like. It looks like he's kissing her, but his mouth isn't open.
Yeah,
and he's just resting on her chin.
Yeah,
and her chin is really long.
Yeah, I think there's been a horrible accident, and these people have melted together. But so he's wearing like a crazy ski sweater.
I know he's not even skiing.
I know, and he's just like, "Hey, I know it's 1971, and Vietnam is a thing,
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go join up.
I'm going to do the war.
Gonna go do some war.
Do some war.
So I hope you're cool with that. And she's like, oh, I love you. I'm gonna marry you when you get back. And he's like, cool. So they go to see him off.
Nice.
and he's like, never change. And she's like, I will never change. Don't you worry. That's a load of shit. Don't ever tell anybody that. That's not true. People change because that's what people do.
People are changing all the time.
Constantly. It's called growth. So you should do that. So he's like, all right, I love you. And she's like, I'm wearing a bandana and go-go boots. So nothing I do is weird.
Oh yeah, why is she like?
She's got like a bandana. She's like, I don't know. She's been listening to a lot of Cher. I don't know.
Yeah, what's up with her?
No idea.
What's up with this bandana?
I don't know.
She Hulk Hogan?
Yes.
Is that Brooke Hogan?
Yes.
Oh shit.
This is Hulk Hogan's mom.
Hulk Hogan was already alive at this time.
Maybe not. Maybe he was like.
Well, Hulk Hogan does lie about a lot of things.
Maybe
Hulk Hogan says he killed Andre the Giant by body slamming him.
Yeah, that's not true.
And Andre had weighed 1,000 pounds.
Well, he always gets heavier. Every time.
Yeah, every time he gets heavier.
It's like a fish.
Yeah.
It's like I caught a fish this big and it just gets bigger. Maybe Hulk Hogan, when he was born one day, and then the next day his mom went in to like pick him up out of his crib, and he was like 6'4", and his legs and arms were just like sticking out of the crib. And he's like, "Mommy."
Now I'm just picturing Hulk Hogan
stuck in a crib,
giant crib, fully grown Hulkamania
with a mustache,
and yellow trunks and boots, being like, "Mother," you know.
That's totally what happened.
Oh, God.
And then he went to become a wrestler. On the third day of his life.
She went, go be a wrestler.
Yeah, she's like, you know what? You better leave.
Be a wrestler.
This is weird for me.
I have to go. I'm wearing this bandana.
Wear the bandana.
Come at me in a few years when your haircut falls out.
And instead of being like, carry the coat of arms of your family, it's wear the bandana of your family.
Oh, yeah. It's a family bandana.
Maybe she's covering a bald spot.
Oh, man, maybe it is Hulk. Maybe it's Hulk Hogan in drag.
Maybe she's got a lady balding. So anyway, so he kisses her, she kisses him, and he runs away. And then when he's been gone, because I guess he's coming, he has a furlough in like April or something. So she's like, I'm going to spend all my time just learning how to cook things. Because, again, I'm going to be a wife, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I guess all the women in this book, all they want to do is just like cook for dudes. None of them are like, I'm going to go get a career.
Yeah, none of these women have any.
Like, they have no interest in it in these books. So, she's like making a duck.
I know she made filet mignon.
Yeah, she's like
the first night, which I'm like, God damn it, really?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do in your daily life that you're affording to make these wonderful meals?
I don't think it matters. They're middle class white people.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So she's like, I'm gonna make
the best steaks.
I'm gonna make this duck, and she's like, oh no, I forgot to turn on the oven. Like, this is before like ovens lit on their own.
Yeah.
So she's like, where are my matches? And she turned up the gas too high, and a duck blew up in her face.
Oh, she got a beak right in the eye.
She got beaked.
Donald Duck was like,
would you still love me if I blew a duck in my face? Like, blew up a duck in my face?
Yeah. Of course I would.
Wouldn't that make you love me more because I just blew up a fucking duck?
Yeah, well, of course I would. Love is forever.
No, good. Yeah, like in this book. So
she's in the hospital.
They take her to the hospital, and like one side of her face has duck shrapnel, I'm assuming.
I want to just be like, she takes off the wrapping
because they must be burns or something, because like the oven is still in one piece and the duck is all over the floor.
Oh, that's right. I didn't notice the actual.
So it's like bone fragments, or
oh man,
it's duck shrapnel.
How is she? She should be. To be honest, she should be dead. She probably should have gotten her face blown off by a duck.
Yeah.
Like if this oven pops so loudly,
yeah,
so powerfully, the duck should have just like ripped off her face.
Yeah, but instead it just gives her like a couple little scars.
Yeah, she has like a few scars.
And they're not like she's not Two-Face.
No.
Right? She's just got like a little thing here and a little thing here. She's still like a really beautiful woman with just a couple scars on her face, but she's like, I am a disfigured monster. I better write him
I
a
do
letter."
kind of wish that she had like this half face wrap the whole time.
Yeah, see, that would have been better. That would have at least been like, oh, see, if she had really looked like Two-Face, I'd be like, oh, no wonder. She's barely wounded.
Can you wrap a face like that?
No. Maybe?
Can you wrap my face like that? Just for the hell of it?
I mean, like with a roll of toilet paper, I guess.
Oh, man.
I guess we could stop this and see if it's possible. Just go get me a roll of toilet paper. I'll wrap your face.
Sorry, guys. The podcast is late. Jen was wrapping Shawn's face in toilet paper for a project.
I actually don't know how that would work because it would like...
It looks like they put a diaper on her face.
It does, because you have to go around the other way to keep it down. Like I could... If I did it, it would just be a big cone.
Yeah. It's like they took her bandana and stuck it on the side of her face.
Hulk Hogan's really upset.
Hulk Hogan's like, Mom, my bandana. What are you doing?
She's like, shut up, Terry.
Shut up, Terry. I blew my face off with your dumb duck. Why don't you just eat the leftover filet mignon I made you?
Why don't you eat the duck leg off the floor?
The duck leg off the floor, baby Hulk Hogan. Baby giant Hulk Hogan.
Stuck in a crib. He's still there.
Like, I can't get out, mother. I'm stuck in the crib.
So she writes this letter that's like, oh, Todd, with 1D.
Why are you so hard on the 1D?
It's just weird. It's weird.
There are Todds out there that have 1D.
I've only ever seen it with 2.
Todd Browning, director of Freaks.
Yeah, that's not something I'm familiar with.
The movie Freaks? You know the movie Freaks from 1932?
I've never seen that movie.
Well, I've never seen it either, but I know of it.
Oh, is it the circus freak movie?
Yeah.
I've never seen it, but I've heard
And
of it.
I think he also was I'm going to be wrong on this, but he was also the original director he directed the original Dracula.
I like that you have to go back to 1932 to find a Todd with 1D.
Well, it's only...
Him and this guy. That's it. Everybody else has 2 Ds.
Yeah, 2 Ds.
Easy D.
Anyways.
Oh.
So she's writing this letter.
She writes this letter. It's like, I can never be with you again. Don't ask why. I'm not going to give you any reasons. You'll never show up to ask me about this. And I'll just mail it to you while you're like sitting in a trench somewhere in a jungle. I'm sure you'll be fine. So
don't worry, you'll get this when you're fighting and doing war stuff. And you're hanging out with Rambo.
Probably on heroin.
Ask him if I can borrow his bandana.
Yeah. I'll send you my bandana. In which she's wearing like another one or a hat. Okay.
She's wearing a hat. So
she gives it to her friend to mail. I don't know if her friend ever does.
No, she doesn't.
So then her
her
friend's like, I have to take, let's go out.
Why can't she mail it herself? Is she afraid to go out? Oh, I think she is.
She is. She's afraid for people to see her. So her friend's like, dude, you can't sit here. Let's go outside. And everybody's like, hey, Carrie, how's it going? Good to see you again. And she's like,
I know, people are like, yo, babe.
Yeah, they're like, they're acting like I'm normal, but I'm not normal. I'm a monster.
I'm a freak.
And so, her friend, again, like, she goes back in the house, she doesn't come out, and her friend's like, no, come on, it's time to go out. She's like, I don't go out of the house. And she's like, nope, time to go out. And so they take her to the bus depot, and who should come out but Todd, and he's wearing sunglasses.
Todd.
And he's got a cane. And he's like, Carrie, and he's like, I can't let him see me like this. He's like, no, Carrie, I had an accident in the war. Could you love a blind man?
Oh, shit.
And she's like, yay, you can't see my horrible disfigurement. We're in love again.
And then they kiss.
And then they kiss. But, like, how fucking stupid is this? That the only way they could be together is if this guy is blind.
I wish that the way that he revealed this to Carrie was like Superman being like, I have no eyes.
And she'd been like, I'm Two-Face. And they'd be like, we're together.
So Two-Face, and it's like, better call Batman.
It's just, I think this is so ridiculous. Like, why couldn't he still see? He could have just been like, oh yeah, you've got some scars. I still love you. You're still the same person.
Yeah, why do you have to be blind?
Yeah, because her horrible disfigurement, or she's fine.
Well, I know, but I mean, it would have been actually a much more poignant story if you would have been like, I love you no matter what.
Well, because these books really are just about, like, if you're hot, then men will love you. That's like the main message of
But if he
these
can't
books.
see her, he doesn't know that she's not hot.
Yeah, so ugly girls, you better find those blind men.
Well, he's going to feel duck on her face at some point.
It's like, why do you have a beak-shaped divot in your cheek?
Like, did you become Donald Duck when I went away? I guess.
What if he like pushes her cheek and she just quacks? He's like, what? What is going on? And she's like, it's nothing.
I have no eyes.
She's like, you don't have any eyes. He's like, oh yes, good point.
Which is it's represented on this cover of this book with Cher and Conan O'Brien.
Right. That's the story, but it doesn't.
It's not the same people.
It's not the same people. It's
And
not
in
the
this
same
case,
setting.
he didn't go to the war. He just wore a striped shirt, went to the
Skinny jeans,
and went to the wharf.
Yeah.
And she's just hiding.
Yeah. So
And he's just like, I have no eyes.
So the last story in our book is called Two Timer.
Yeah, this is the piece de resistance.
This story.
Yeah.
What the fuck? So it's about this guy who likes to wear a neckerchief.
Oh.
As you can see there. And
he's concentrating on
his name is Bob.
Oh, Bob.
And Bob is almost graduated. He's so excited, but he doesn't like.
Well, first we get should we mention the preamble first? Or
Sure.
So there's a little preamble. There's of what's to come here.
Yeah.
And basically, we have blonde lady.
Being like, don't try to stop me. I don't want to see any of you again.
Okay, so there's a blonde lady, and she's running out. She's like, don't stop me. Dorinda. And the future Bob is like, no, wait. And then there's like a man and a woman in the background.
And they're arguing.
So, yeah. So we're just about to go down.
So Bob's sitting under a tree.
He's at State University, where Wade went and met Troy.
Yeah. And he's
Todd was there too with no eyes.
Yeah, everybody goes here. So
I have no eyes.
He's like, yeah, I couldn't wait to, I've been getting good grades. I can't wait to have a career. I don't like any of the ladies here. They're just not doing it for me. And
What
it's
kind
like,
of career?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a career. And a girl named Corky wants to go dancing with him, and he's like, nah.
She's like, nah, man.
Not into chicks.
Into chicks.
And then so he goes back home, and his roommate named, what's his roommate's name? Nate. He's like, hey, my girlfriend's coming into town, but man, do I have to study for this calculus test or whatever.
Man, do I have to study for this piece of paper?
Yeah, I'm just holding a piece of paper, therefore you know I am busy.
Math!
It just says math on it. It doesn't even have numbers.
Math for you!
And so he's like, okay, well, I guess I'll go pick her up at the train, bus, depot. I don't know. Off the ship with the Arby's. She's just bringing... That's a whole suitcase full of Arby's.
Beef and cheddar.
So she gets...
Why couldn't he just be like, look, I'm in the middle of finals. Like,
I don't know. He's like,
terrible planning.
Yeah, please. She's like, oh, I'm here. He's like, hey...
I'm here, and what's her name?
Dorinda.
Dorinda.
And he's like,
Dorito.
And he's like, hey, I know I'm not your boyfriend, but your boyfriend's really busy, so I'm going to hang out with you. And she's like, good call, strange man I just met out of nowhere. I'll get in your car.
And I will go to dinner with you.
I will hang out with you
I will go dancing with you.
I will just hang out with you. I'm going to let you know where I'm staying.
I will let you walk me directly to my door.
Yeah.
And not even worry about seeing my boyfriend that I came all the way here with a box, with a souffle case full of beef and cheddars.
Yeah. Just for our weird sex party.
Now
they're gonna get cold and gelatinous. He's not gonna like that.
We were gonna roll around and play Twister on these
naked Arby's Twister.
Naked Arby's Twister on these beef and cheddars.
Oh,
and now,
so slippery.
Now I just have to eat them in my room by myself after you drop me off here. And eat this cold Arby's.
Oh, gross! Hard Arby's is bad enough.
Actually, I would have loved it if she would have came back the next day and she's like, she died from eating all the Arby's, and that's the end of the book. And then he's just like, I have no eyes,
So that guy just walks through the panel. It's like, I lost it in the different story. So they like go dancing. They go to a really fancy restaurant, and he's like, man, she's so pretty. I really like her.
Yeah, he's having a dream with her big head staring at him. Apparently, he must be sick. That's how people, because she's checking on him. He's got fever.
Yeah, and so he like studies while wearing a polka dot shirt.
Yeah, it's Dusty Rhodes.
He sleeps and dreams about her big head. The next day,
dreams about her. Oh, what a 5 head! I love it.
Oh, giant head. I love bobbleheads.
Oh, he's just thinking about a tiny body with a big head.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, nocturnal emission on big head.
And the next day, she comes to see him, and she's kind of drawn weird in this panel. She looks pregnant. But she's not. It's just
She's pregnant with Arby's.
She's like, I had to eat 36 Arby sandwiches by myself.
He's like, I'll see you later.
He's like, that's why we're going to leave you outside all day long, because you reek of beef.
You reek of beef and cheddar.
It's just coming out of your pores. Because you're trying to process
I washed
that
my hair with
shit.
horsey sauce.
And your body's like, get it out, get it out, get it out. So
put you back on that ship, and you're going back to Arby's Island.
He takes her to the middle of nowhere, and she's like, good idea. I want to go to the middle of nowhere with a man I met
Because here's the thing.
once.
He has to entertain her because
she can't do it herself, apparently.
Well, because she just literally just showed up.
Right, but like he can't be like, oh man, I can't because I've got this test, and she can't be like, oh man, that's all right. I'll go check out the Barnes and Noble. Call me when you're done.
I'll check out a bookstore. I'll look at something. But the thing is, though, I think this is the 70s, early 70s. You don't have a lot of.
Were there no bookstores? In the 70s?
I think
there were tons of them.
There's not a lot of Peggy Olsons or what's her faces, the Megan Drapers.
Oh, there were plenty of them. You just
Right,
didn't write about them
she's
here.
not one of them.
Right.
And she's more of the Betty Draper type.
Yes, gotta have somebody hang out with you all day, show you around. So she they hang out in the middle of nowhere. She goes home and changes into a white jumpsuit. Then they go back to the middle of nowhere. Have you noticed this? Here she is in her dress, and they're in a field.
He just goes to watch her pick flowers.
Here's the next panel. They're sitting on a rock, but she's wearing something else.
I think maybe these are different. Oh no, this is the same day.
Yeah, that's why. So either they went to nowhere. She's like, I'm gonna pick these flowers and smell.
Well, he's wearing a different shirt too.
So maybe they both changed.
Oh, because they had sex.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Or because she reeks of Arby's, and he's like, oh my god, I have to get my car steam cleaned. Let's change these gross. Actually, let's go burn these clothes in a dumpster and buy something else.
Let's burn this car and let me just burn this car and just drive it off a cliff.
Yeah. So then they hang out, and then they're driving in another car, and he's like, hey, Dorinda, this is so great.
Did she die here?
Yes.
Because she's like, there's this panel where they're talking to each other, and she's just got her, the conceit is she's got, well, clearly. She's laying with her, she's kind of laying with her head back, just kind of relaxing, but it looks like she's dead.
Yeah, she died.
Like one panel, she's looking out, she's like, oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, Dorinda, Nate really cares. It's just he's too randomly busy to even take you out to dinner.
He's randomly busy looking at one sheet of paper.
Yeah, it's really it's 4 letters. It's hard for him. So
he's probably gonna get it wrong.
Yeah,
he's probably gonna sell meth.
So
sorry, Nate, you failed meth 101.
He takes her back to her place, and he's like, "Man, I wish I could crush her lips to mine."
Yes, guys.
And you're like, "Ouch,
guys." Don't use this ever.
It's very.
Don't ever say to a woman, "I want to crush your lip." Sorry, I want to crush your mouth with kisses.
I think if it was crush your lips, it would have been better. Mouth is such a mouth.
Because the mouth is, the lips are different. The lips are different from the mouth. We're talking mouth. So I mean, he's going full tongue. He's wrecking teeth.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the thing. If you say mouth,
he's fucking up that palate.
Yeah.
That roof.
If you say mouth. You're talking.
She's going to the hospital.
Yeah, this is one of those you hit teeth against each other.
The tongue is going. He's ripping her mouth. He is probably. It's going to be like a horror movie. It's like one of those 80s horror movies where people used to suck faces and murder people.
Yeah,
this is what's going down. It's about to happen.
It's okay if you want to say crush lips. That's a very romance term, but crush mouth. It's just where Smash Mouth got its name.
Yeah. He did this. And he just has this very casual face on it.
Yeah. Somebody
crushed my mouth. And
now we're in the emergency dentist office. And we have no teeth. So he's like, oh man, but Dorinda, why can't you be mine? I'm going to take you to the middle of nowhere.
I love women and I really want this one.
Yeah, this is the one I want. And he's like...
Okay, so here's the thing. Okay,
so this is... Now it goes sideways. So he's like, man, I have to tell him... he's like, I'm driving by this restaurant and hey, there's his car.
Looks like he's been boning up on his exams at a fancy restaurant.
At a really fancy restaurant. I'm going to go stop in and be like, hey,
go to like a really fancy.
Your girlfriend needs to see you.
Go to like it'd be like me out here in LA going to like fuck. I'm trying to think of a
Mr. Chow.
Is that a fancy restaurant?
Isn't that place where all the celebrities go? Or what's it called? There's a couple of them.
I'm trying to think of that steakhouse that all the wrestlers, not the out here in LA. It's the
Black Angus.
Yeah, Black Angus. Miz and Maurice go to Black Angus at least once a week.
I can see Miz at Black Angus.
I think Miz would be down for a Black Angus.
Maurice just picks at her salad and glares at him.
Maurice ain't having it.
No.
But Miz is definitely, because Miz is from Cleveland.
He's going to a Black Angus.
Miz is probably sneaking in a Black Angus when he can.
Oh, absolutely.
Big ups. And I'll join you.
Yeah.
If Miz, if you want to go to Black Angus.
I just tweeted Shawn. So he goes to this diner, fancy restaurant place to go, hey, friend, you must be studying. Please go see your girlfriend because this is weird. And he walks in and he sees him with a chick.
Yeah.
A different chick.
Oh, yeah.
So he like slides into the booth behind him and he's
Does this girl even get a name?
No.
Okay.
And he's like, hey, I'll meet you later for dinner. And she's like, don't be late. And so he leaves.
Why is he meeting her here?
I don't
tell
know.
her, like, let's go eat somewhere else?
It's nighttime.
That's like me going to Arby's and telling you I'll meet you at Wendy's.
Well, okay, so it's nighttime and he says, meet at the River Inn for dinner.
Oh,
so
man.
maybe dinner is code for boning.
Yeah.
So
getting that steak.
So he walks out. His friend leaves and he's like, oh no, I have to prove to this guy that he needs to be with Dorinda. And then it just turns into this comic about how terrible this other woman is. What,
the nameless woman?
Yes. They call her a gold digger.
But this guy doesn't even... But
that's the thing.
What money does
here's the
not math-knowing guy have?
Here's the problem with this. The person that you should be mad at for two-timing Dorinda is not this chick who's sitting with him. It's your friend. But so what he does is he's like, I'm going to hatch a plan. Oh, man, it's going to be so easy because she's a gold digger. So I'm just going to walk over and be like, hey, you want to go dancing? And she's like, oh, I'll hang out with you. And he's like, yeah, Miss Gold Digger can't resist my tempting offer. And he's like, oh.
She literally walks up and he goes, hey, you want to, like, go do stuff with me? And she's like, yeah.
Yeah, because apparently that's a good idea. You just get in dudes' cars.
You literally just finished talking to...
your friend,
this one guy, and he's like, meet me at the River Inn, and then he goes, yeah, how about like
we go to the River Inn, and she goes, good idea. And so he walks in, and he apparently knows the guy who runs the place.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, I know. And she's like, oh, you're my kind of guy, Big Bob. You're great. She's like falling right into
Does she call him Big Bob?
Yeah, she's Bob, my kind of guy. And he's like, perfect. She's falling into my trap.
I don't even know her name. I'm just going to ruin her confidence forever.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm just fucking with this woman. And she's horrible because she's dating this guy. And I'm like, you should be mad at him. He's the one cheating on his girlfriend. Yeah. What the fuck are you mad at this chick for?
Bullshit.
So he walks, he's like, what's going on, man? Why are you hanging out with this chick? Well, apparently Dorinda, like, materialized out of nowhere.
And they even say, they're like,
we don't know where
she came from. It's
now,
like,
this woman has had to
mysteries.
be taken around town.
Where did Doritos come from?
Well, she's had to be taken around town every single day. In every minute of the day. So if Bob isn't escorting her here, there, and everywhere, she's sitting in her hotel room. And she chooses today to decide to go to this random place and catch everybody.
Yeah.
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 So
yeah,
he's like, why are you talking to my girl? He's like, what do you mean your girl? He's like, Dorinda and I aren't a thing. And Dorinda's like, I hate everybody because she just showed up. And Bob like runs after
She's
her.
very confused.
And he's like, no, Dorinda, you don't understand.
Dorinda, I love you as Cool Ranch.
He's like, she's like, I thought he, and he's like, my plan was to show Nate that he was dating a whore so he'd go back to you. I guess that was
pretty much
the plan. And you're like, you're
yeah.
terrible. She should have left Bob right now.
Bob. No wonder Bob isn't messing with women because he's awful.
He's a horrible person.
He sucks.
He's like, I'm here to prove this chick's a bitch and a slut, instead of realizing that my friend is actually a terrible person.
Yep.
And he's like, no, you don't understand. I don't care that she was with Nate. I care that you were with her. He's like, no, not any longer. I love you. And she's like, I love you. And then he's like, he calls her a little nut. He says, Dorinda, you little nut. I wanted to kiss you from the beginning. And you're like, what the fuck's wrong with you, Bob?
I want to crush mouth.
Yeah. So they crush mouth and teeth go flying.
He just goes, ah! And then, like, just blood is just pouring.
Everywhere.
Actually, his last panel should just be blood streaming. Just teeth in a pool at their feet. And it just says the end. It's just a pool of teeth and blood. Okay, here's the thing. Here's what I don't understand is, well, also, look, first of all, Bob is a piece of shit.
Yes. So is his friend.
And so is his friend. And Dorinda, I don't understand, is like
a helpless.
She's just like,
weakling?
because she well, first of all, yeah, helpless, super naive.
Oh my God.
To be like, I'm going to come and visit my boyfriend and not see him for like a week.
And it's not going to get suspicious.
And not going to get suspicious
and I'm
about
get
it.
In this guy's car.
Sit in this guy's car, let him drive me around.
You know, that's the thing, because it's like, they didn't have cell phones or FaceTime or anything back then.
Yeah.
Text messages. You couldn't just send it, be like, hey, my friend John's coming. Here's a picture of him. Mm-hmm. You know, here's his car's blue. He'll drive you home, and here's his number. You're like, oh, okay. At least I get that.
How did Bob know what this chick looked like in the first place?
This is literally, he goes to a bus station. He walks up to a blonde and he goes, hey, your boyfriend can't pick you up. Get in my car. And she goes, okay.
This is how all unsolved mysteries start.
This is a Forensic Files waiting to happen. And then he just broke all of her teeth out, so she can't be identified.
She can't even talk. She can't talk. They can't. Yeah, exactly. They can't. She had no teeth in her dental. She had no dental records.
Yeah. Pulling teeth.
Only you can help find her teeth. On Unsolved Mysteries.
Yep.
But here's the thing too: is like Dorinda is upset that even though, she is Nate's boyfriend, she is upset that Bob was with another woman because she started crushing on him, even though
she's with someone else.
She's been clearly supposed to be with Nate for like the entire time.
Yes.
I know Bob's been taking her around, but she doesn't even mention Nate. Like, I don't think.
Well, he talks about her once, and then that's when she dies.
Oh no, but he talks about her. Like he talks about them being together because she's like, wow, you must be really in love, and she's like, I'm dead.
She's like, heart attack.
Arby's.
Like my veins.
Arby's is taking a beating this episode.
My arteries are clogged with cheese. He resuscitates her, and then they.
Surprised when he crushed her mouth at the end, she didn't explode with horsey sauce.
What if she was like a can of Cheese Whiz, and he like hit her in the head, and she goes.
That would have been a good ending.
She just like pours all over the sidewalk.
If Bob Haney were writing this book, that would have happened.
I've got a lot of Bob Haney books.
Yeah, I know. Bob Haney would make all these things happen.
Absolutely. 100%.
R.I.P. Bob Haney. Let's talk about that. But yeah, but that's it for this dumb book of girls' romance. I mean, okay, I'm not gonna lie. This is ridiculous.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Ridiculous, and just kind of, it's a time capsule.
Absolutely.
And it's just hilarious. But at the same time, the stories conclude.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, there's a beginning, middle, and end. Even if they're short.
Even if they're short, they do it.
I mean, would you read the next issue?
I'd read another one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I would totally.
I could see why people want to, have fun with this. And what?
Oh, like I said, I wish I had more of these. I wish I could have all of these.
We have another one of these.
I know we
another
do.
book
I
called
don't-
just "I Love You."
Yeah, it's another one of those.
I think
crazy
it
romance
literally
comics.
is about to fall apart.
Yes.
It is one of those. I don't know why it's still in our collection,
because I like it.
but no, because why it's physically there because it looks. Like
Oh, it should have been. You mean it should have disintegrated?
I should just
into nothing?
go into our box and just find like inorganic, just dust.
Yeah,
'Cause it
I'm
just looks
surprised
like-
it's not.
Yeah,
Yeah, it should be.
but yeah. So when we maybe, but I bet it's not nearly as good as this.
Oh,
I feel like
I
this,
don't remember.
I feel like this is pretty dope.
No, it's great.
This is pretty dope. It's written by nobody.
Yeah,
You know,
Great book.
if you ever want to read a book written by mystery people,
yeah.
and you got yourself, you got Cher on the cover, you got blonde Conan O'Brien,
Yeah.
you got mouth crushing,
Yeah, all sorts of stuff.
you got
A
State
cruise.
University, you got you got Isla's Men.
Hey, you've got ducks blowing up in people's faces.
This is action packed.
This is action packed.
Could somebody please? I would like, actually, to be honest, if DC needs another property, just this issue right here, just do this.
I wish they'd bring this back.
But they won't make them as dumb.
That's the thing.
And
probably
because
won't.
they would have to be like they just not dumb, but they just wouldn't make them because it's a different time now, and like
I
it'd be a
know.
lot more. Women would definitely be a lot less naive.
Oh,
you know?
absolutely. Well, I mean, maybe that was the thing. Maybe they'd be like really fun now, and you'd have like, heterosexual relationships, homosexual relationships,
Yeah.
whatever, and it would be a lot more interesting or different.
I am certain. I will say this though: there are I feel like out there in the world, there are still men
yes.
and women that act like this.
There are 100%, 100%, because it's just, a lot of people. I mean, that's why do you think people go see 50 Shades of Grey and all that nonsense?
It's a hot movie.
It's those attitudes are still out there.
DC should do the comic book adaptation of
That
50
is why we
Shades of Grey.
smashed the patriarchy.
Written
We tried to stop it.
and drawn by the same people that did this book, who we don't know.
I think this is going to be Ben Affleck's going to adapt to this and just put Batman in every story.
Ben Affleck's going to adapt this, and then the cover's just going to be his dick.
Wait, from Gone Girl, or
Yeah. But with Batman's outfit.
does it
on
wear a cowl?
Yeah, he just photoshops a cowl,
And like a cape.
and you're just like, but you've been so up close that you don't know what it is, and you're just like, oh, that's like a Batman, but I don't know what
You're
we're
like, it's a
looking at.
weird looking Batman.
And then you find out
it's a really kind of a fleshy Batman.
and then years like later, everybody goes, oh my god, that's Ben Affleck's dick.
The cape was just his balls painted black.
Yes. I don't think you see balls in that movie. I think you just see.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah,
you kind of see dick.
You definitely see dick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but you definitely. But I don't think you see full scrot.
Oh no.
I don't think you see scrot fleck.
Scrot fleck.
Scrot fleck. I just want to say scrot fleck.
Fair enough. Man, I think obviously he missed his call. He should have gone into porn. He could have been Scrot Fleck.
Scrot fleck. Scrot fleck stars in Batman v Superman.
Vagina?
Batman v Vagina. Girls Romance XXX. Yeah, that's
Yeah, well that's it for Girls Romance number 157 from June 1971.
Yeah, I'd check this out again.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I wish I had more of these. These are just such an interesting look at
life.
It's a time capsule. It's good.
So that's it for this week's show. So real quick announcement: I and Jen and I will release a episode of just some correspondence we received over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We'll just cover it. It'll be a shorter episode, so you don't have to, it's not going to be the epically long episode that this is.
Yeah.
So we'll just take some time to just kind of read some letters and some stuff that we've gotten recently.
And that'll come out at a different day.
Yeah, we'll probably drop it like maybe Thursday or something like that. Or for Thursday or Friday. I haven't figured it out yet, but just keep an eye out for it. So it'll be in the feed. And if you want to participate in future correspondence, you can email us at worstcollectionever@gmail.com. You can also find us on Twitter. I'm at Angry Hero Shawn. SHAWN is how you spell Shawn. And my Instagram is Angry Hero Shawn as well. You can check that out. And Yeah, and that's my Tumblr, theangryhero.tumblr.com, and Jen has places you can find her.
Yeah, I'm at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram, jenstansfield.tumblr.com, jenstansfield.wordpress.com.
And also, when you're online, go on iTunes or wherever it is that you get this podcast, rate, review, leave a comment, tell a friend, spread the word. Definitely on iTunes, you can give us 5 stars if you think we deserve it, because if you do, that will definitely helps us move up in the ratings and increases the visibility of the podcast. So we want that to be a thing. So thanks for listening, folks, and we will see you again next time.
Bye.